Good afternoon. This is Preston Rowe from CIA. This is just going to be a quick video to explain how to read the data that I send to you for your labor standards that I promised I would send to you. Basically, this particular format follows through with the way our format works in the regular system, in our CIA system, budgeting system. But basically what this does, most of this is self-explanatory. Your position code with your job title, the year, the schedule, and what the schedule means is we can do it as a primary schedule, secondary schedule, or a seasonal schedule. I wouldn't worry about that right now because most of your stuff looks like it's just primary. And then in the row, the row is based on how many levels that you have, and I'll explain the levels in a moment. And you can set your max hours for an individual position. And you can change it. This is the driver, which determines which one you're using to drive those numbers. And then the level of the bracket level is very simple. If you say a level, you say from this to this, so from 75 up to 75 you have 24 hours. If you add another 25 you add another 4 hours. If you add another 25 you add another 4 hours. Whereas if you have a bracket, you say for every one unit you want that many hours. For example, for every room sold you want a half hour of labor. Okay. And then you can set the dates that you want that to be applicable. Normally, most of what I saw in your system is set to one schedule, which is a regular schedule, with from beginning of time until from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. You have the ability to put into your schedule 0, 1, or 2, and 0 meaning your primary, 1 being your secondary, and 2 being your seasonal. And within that, you can do a from date, to date, from in the beginning of the year, and then a from and to date at the end of the year. However you want to do it, you can section it up. So in other words, you have up to 3 schedules in 2 time periods, so you could have up to 6 different methodologies depending on the time of year and the season for yourself. So basically what I would like you to do is to go look at each individual job. You'll notice some of these have 2016 and some have 2017, and the reason for that is because, for example, if you look at your front desk clerk in this particular property, I found this quite prevalent in a lot of the properties, you had a front desk clerk scheduled for 2016, but you didn't have any drivers for 2017. Same thing for the admin assistant and the general manager, and that's probably why you're not seeing that within your system, is because you don't have a driver for 2017. You will notice that you have a driver for room attendant, you have a driver for public area attendant, but again only in 2016. You have a linen room, which was actually 2017, and your breakfast attendant was 2017. So what I would like you to do is to go in here look at each individual job as it is, and make sure that if you want it as a level of business, great. If you want it as a bracket, great. But make sure that you change that to either level or bracket, and then you set the levels that you want in here. You'll notice that the rows in here are 2, 1, 2, 3, because you have 4 levels of rows in here. So you got 0, 1, 2, 3. And what that corresponds to is, I'll just show you right here. What that corresponds to is right here. If I were to set up multiple levels for something, let's say that I want to go look at my front desk. If I set levels in here, you would see row 0, row 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. If I do it, let's say, see here this? So this right here would be level 0, level 1. Okay? So you have the ability to set these by default for any day, or you can set them for an individual day. So if you happen to know, for example, that you have your manager is always there on Thursday and Friday, or is always off on Thursday and Friday, you can say that these levels get changed on Thursday and Friday more, and they don't on the rest of the days. Gives you a lot of flexibility. Again, we saw that your front desk attendant is on rooms sold, your room attendant is on prior day rooms sold, your public area attendant is on rooms sold, your linen again is prior day rooms sold with a level, breakfast again prior day rooms with a level, and there's your levels set up over here, and here's the additional hours for each one. And then you notice that your admin assistant and your general maintenance, again, were only set up for 2016. It's a fixed weekly. And in this case, you're saying that you're going to have 8 hours a day for your admin assistant. And here, you're going to have 32 hours a day, except on Sunday when you only have 24. So you can actually go, again, you can go and set it as a default, or you can set it as an individual time. If you, as you'll notice in this one, if you set it as a default, if you put a number into the individual day, it will override the default. So I hope that helps.